Hi everyone, it's Emma Watson from Light Life Living, and I am here with the co developer Sue Hughes. And today we are talking about the topic of exercise. But before we do that, good morning to you, Sue. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm really good. Just a little bit sleepy because this is an early time for me. However, it's all good. All the better for seeing you.
Excellent, Sue. So, exercise. I don't know about you, but I used to have a really dysfunctional relationship with exercise when I was really caught up with my food and body image issues. Did you experience that or not so much?
Well, when we were chatting about it before, I was thinking, well, no, I'm fine about exercise. But actually, as you speak about it, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I put myself through stuff that really, I'm not sure was really helpful for me or particularly pleasant for me. And probably because of that, not particularly pleasant for other people as well. How about you, Emma?
I got caught up in the gym world for a while, and it happened for the first time at university. And it was when those kind of the technology had gotten to the point where exercise bikes told you how many calories you'd burnt. And I got quite obsessive about, it was in my calorie counting days, about getting to certain numbers and really pushing myself too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was often exercising on top of muscle soreness from previous days. And one of my dear friends at the time was doing some human biology study, and she was saying to me, you can't keep pushing all these muscles. The soreness is repair. But I remember that just sort of going over the top of my head. I didn't want to know about it.
Yes, there is
Yeah.
that sort of relentless pushing and pushing and pushing. In fact, as we chat, I remember shortly before I crashed with chronic fatigue, the exercise wasn't the last thing. It wasn't the last straw that broke the camel's back. It was something that I wasn't expecting. But I was aware that I was walking to work every day and I was going to the gym on the way back and feeling really, really good about myself. That sort of, oh, I'm doing this, you're not doing that. And, I'd see somebody that was, because I was really quite skinny then. And, but it was that sort of seeing someone in the street thinking, I'm going to the gym and I can tell that you're not. So all these judgments were coming in about myself and about other people. It was not a really very nice thoughts going on in my head.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I my second time with the gym was when I moved to Bunbury and I started working, so I had the income to pay for a gym membership again. And again, I got into going more often than I needed to, getting obsessed with these calorie counting things on the machines. But I remember picking up a women's magazine at the time because I was into feeding myself with that kind of information too. And there was one particular article that talked about exercise can be used as self punishment. And I remember reading that sentence and thinking, oh my goodness, that is what I'm doing to myself. I'm using exercise as punishment for the regret I have of eating something that I shouldn't have eaten, or in my mind I shouldn't have eaten. And I'm
Mm,
punishing myself with my exercise routine. That was exactly what I was doing.
that's really
Look, it was
interesting.
a good insight, Sue, but it took me a lot longer to actually move from that insight into changing my behavior.
Yes, I guess for me, it was slightly different, although along the same lines, because it was that same sort of drive, that same sort of, I must do this, I must do this, that sort of punishment thing. But I remember in my slimming club days and my gym days being so gratified when somebody would say, oh, you're so driven. You're like a guided missile. You're doing this, you're doing, and it made me feel so good about myself because having been quite a sort of sturdy, chubby child, and actually when I look back at photos, I wasn't, I wasn't fat. That's the irony of it. I really wasn't. I was me. But in those days where it just took one comment from somebody to say, oh, fatty you, because I was finding the wall bars in the gym at school. Do you remember those things?
Oh, those things,
Oh
yes. Yes,
God,
I do.
the ropes and the humiliation when somebody got up the rope and I could only get halfway up. And so right back then I got that feeling, oh no, this is not for me. So for somebody to say to me those affirming words, oh, you're driven, oh, you're really good, that just fed into that whole, but it was self-destruct. It wasn't self-nurture, it was self-destruct. But to get other people's approbation, other people's validation, yeah, that
And on
was,
the surface, it looks really functional, doesn't it? You know, when I was caught up with my stuff, it looked like, oh, she's so, she's so driven, she's so committed. She's there at the gym all the time, but it came from such an unhealthy place.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I come from a sort of, I hate class systems, but we come from a driven place. We come from a work orientated place. We come from an achievement orientated place. And I'm not saying that achievement is bad. I love achieving things. It's really gratifying, if you're making something, but as you say, it's the place you come from. But of course, to get admiration from my tribe, not just the people around me, the newer people around me, but admiration from my own tribe, that was also something that fed into the need. And I think that's it. It's feeding into a need, but a need for what? That was my question. At least that's my question now. It wasn't my question then. I just wanted to do it. Oh, golly, it's bringing back all those feelings, Emma.
I was actually just thinking, I went to a yoga class a couple of nights ago, and I was just thinking about the mats, the mats lined up in the studio. And I remember as a child in gym class, even the sight of mats would fill me with horror because I was thinking, we're probably going to have to do something and I'm probably not going to be very good at it. And I'm sure well intentioned on the behalf of all the teachers that tried to teach me physical education, but it was quite destructive for a child who wasn't very good at those things and also probably had a bit of a skewed version of how good she was. I tended to look at it as being worse than perhaps my abilities were, but I think for a long time it did put me off exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the whole diet industry, the whole exercise injury. There you go, injury.
Yes. Yes.
But the whole exercise industry, it's sort of feeding one through a funnel into a sort of template. This is how you should be, and we're sort of constrained. And if you're a sensitive soul, and I think I'm quite a sensitive soul. I may come over as brusque sometimes, but actually inside, really sensitive. I think I must be like this or I won't be accepted. And yeah, that really begins to touch the heart of stuff, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. So it
Yeah.
absolutely does. Yes. Yep. So yeah, in my dysfunctional days for me, exercise was about trying to compensate and burn off the calories that I shouldn't have eaten. Mm.
Yeah. Yes. Now I would. Yes, I would. I would exercise. I mean, I've been through 2 or 3 gym phases, and that would be in combination with diet. Gym and diet. Yes, I can do it. And when you got to the end of the day, I've done my gym. I've kept to the rules. I've kept to the rules with the gym. I've kept to the rules with the diet. I've pushed it a bit further with the gym. Brownie points, brownie points. Yes, yes, yes. I'm
Yes.
going to be slim. I'm going to be really thin. I'm going to be anorexic thin. In fact, I was bordering anorexic at one stage,
Yep.
believe it or not, but I was.
Yeah.
Was.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that's
oh,
a wonderful description. So I love it. I had similar thoughts. It's this
oh,
sort of cheering myself on through gritted teeth.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. And thinking, oh, and actually, again, these thoughts of judgment, not just of myself, but of other people, other people in the gym. Oh, you're going out for a coffee afterwards. I bet you're going to have a cake. I'm not going to go out for a cup of coffee. I'm just going to walk fast home. Oh, dear. It's exhausting just thinking about it
It
now.
is. It is.
Yes.
Yes. So I
I'm
thought
just
next,
sorry, carry on, carry on.
I was going to say, I thought next time we speak, Sue, I wondered if you'd be interested talking about how your relationship with exercise is now and how that's changed and tapping and whatever else you've used to help you
Absolutely. Well, I was
transition.
about to launch into it and then realised that we were out of time.
Yeah, so we
That's
need to do
exactly
that
where
next
I was
time.
going to go.
Yep,
Exactly where I was going to go.
yep.
Let's continue the conversation, Emma. This is really good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day, Sue. See you
Yeah.
next
Thank
time.
you. Bye.
Bye.